Hi, this is Slow Automation. So today we're going to go through a guide on how to build Runelite in Intellij IDEA. So this is a IDE virtual environment for Java. So here is the GitHub for it. And let's get started. So first you'll want to download a JDK 11 download, which is a Oracle platform for the Java programming language, so it allows you to develop in Java. So all you want to do is go to Google, type in JDK 11 download, go to the archive downloads, and what you want to do is, if you're on a Windows installer, go to Windows and go download. Once that's downloaded, so you'll need a username or an account for Oracle. This is free, so there's no cost to it. So you can just use any email for this. And once it's downloaded, what you want to do is click on the executable file. And you just want to go through the installation. I've already got it saved, but I'll just go through it anyway. So while that's downloading, you'll also need to download IntelliJ IDE. So use the community version because that's the free version. You can use the ultimate version, but that has a cost involved. So just go download. So this is going to be the 2022 version. And as you can see, once you click download, there's going to be a file down here. Now let's close. Successfully installed. And we can just close that down. So now we're just going to wait for the IntelliJ program to install. So the next thing that we want to do is this. So this is located on github.com/runelite/runelite. So this is the instructions on how to build Runelite in IntelliJ. So we've just done these two things. So we're working through these. And the next step is going to import the project. So what I'm going to do is copy this URL. And we'll use that for later. So open up that file, wait for it to unpack, click next. I don't want to uninstall these versions because I use them for other things. So I'm just going to go next, space required. And it's just going to be saved to my C drive under program files, which is fine. And I want to create a shortcut. And I just want to associate these files. And I also want to add. So if this is not already ticked, then update that as well. So this is the environmental path, just so when we run any Java programs, it knows where to find this particular program. And then go install. Wait for that to install, and after this I'm going to restart my computer. So now it's installed, I'm going to reboot my computer now. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So I've just rebooted my computer and IntelliJ IDEA has successfully installed. So I'm going to open it up and we are going to create a new project. So when you first open up, it's just going to migrate all the plugins if you've downloaded it before. So I'm just going to wait for that. And once it's loaded, we can start adding the project of Runelite. So just go to GitHub and type in Runelite. And it's going to be the first repo. So what we're going to do is copy that URL, so github/runelite/runelite, and press get from VCS, put in the URL, and go clone. And just wait for a couple of minutes. So this is going to clone the repository and download all the files. Now it's just loading all the components and setting up all the dependencies for this project, and just setting it up and syncing with Runelite in the repo on GitHub. Once that's done loading, we can look at what to do next, which is we're going to install the Runelite base. So scroll down and building with Intellij. So we're going to go to Runelite. So using Maven. So Maven's like a framework to run processes in Intellij. And what it does is it just runs all these various functions to automate some tasks for you when you want to build a particular project. So it's Runelite and lifecycle install. So let's do that now. So Maven, so on the right hand side, use the drop down for Runelite, drop down for lifecycle, and right click on and install and go run Maven build. And at the bottom in this terminal is the status of where it's up to. So at the moment it's just building all the plugins, installing all the dependencies, compiling the code. So this will take about a minute or so. And it's also downloading from the internet, from GitHub and from Runescape, various files. And the last thing it's going to do is build a snapshot, which we can use to run Runelite. It's going to wait for a bit. So this will take about 5 minutes. Now it's going to test on the functions within the library. Alright, so build success. So if you don't get this message at the end, then there's a couple of things that could have gone wrong. So if you don't have a stable internet connection, you could get some errors where it's trying to download from the website or from Runescape or from Runelite, and it's just causing errors. Or other things is go to your project structure and just make sure that you're using a SDK. So by default, it's using OpenJDK 14. So if that doesn't work, you can use the one that we recently downloaded. So if you select that one, press apply, it's going to re-index all the files according to this this JDK program. And just make sure this is selected to 16 as well. So if you go apply, you would have to rerun this again. But anyway, since we've already installed it, let's go to the next step. which is we've built it. And now we can run the project. So what you can do is go to Runelite and press run. So you don't use Maven for this. So you go to, on the left hand side, left navigation pane, all these directories, Runelite client, you go to source, main, Java, scroll all the way down to Runelite, should have like a little green marker on it, right click on it and go run main. Just get rid of this Lombok notification. So the first time it does this, it will take a while because it first needs to build it. But when you run this the second time, it will be a lot faster. And we can make it faster again by skipping all the tests that it usually does. So this will take about a minute or two to complete. So again, if this doesn't load properly, could be an issue with your internet, or it could be an issue with your SDK. So you just make sure you check those two things. So what we have is this error. So because I used a different SDK, it's not loading properly. So what we can do is just go cancel out of that and rebuild it using the new SDK. So Runelite lifecycle install. Should be a little bit quicker this time. So build success. Now let's try that again. So if we've already run that particular file, we can actually use can't use that. So we're just going to run runelite.main. As you can see, it's a lot quicker this time because it just built it before. And fingers crossed, and there we go. So if you switch between SDKs and it doesn't load up, the window is transparent, that could be a reason why. So I'm just gonna open this and put in my password. And it's connected to the server. And there you go. It's logged in. Alright. So that's all good. So now let's go into adding plugins. So pretty much the same position, except you want to go to this directory called plugins. And we're going to add the folder here. So let's do that. So I'm just going to add my one. So HTTP plug. And I'm just going to download this one. So since Runelite, this particular version of this repo doesn't use Kotlin, as you can see here, there is a Kotlin file. We just need to remove that when we add it to the repo. So what you want to do is just go extract all, extract. There we go. And so copy of the main folder, go into Runelite, or you can just drag and drop it over, but let's do it this way. Java, net, Runelite, client, plugins, paste, and we should see it in there. So I just copied it over into my directory. You know, you can just drag and drop it over. So for example, downloads. Just get a refactor. So yeah. So I already got it in there. So we just need to look for H2P. So I'm gonna refactor it just to rename it so it doesn't have that main bit. Get rid of that. And I'm gonna get rid of this folder because I don't need any Kotlin files. Just press OK. And what we also need to do is move these files because they won't work in that directory. So this one. So as you can see, all these files just have its own. There's no subfolders. So you can have subfolders, but since my repo had this, we don't need that. So just move them all. Refactor, move, and I can get rid of that folder. And now we just need to check everything is working. So no errors, so that's fine. Alright, so since this particular plugin was for Open OSRS, I just need to get rid of a couple of things. So extension, get rid of that. And nullable. So I'm just going to scroll down. Nullable, get rid of that. And it should be good. Profit tracker, that's all fine. Readme, done. And so since we've added a new plugin, we need to reinstall this this repo again, because this will allow the plugin to be recognized, and it will build it as part of the as part of the project. So once again, right click install. So it should be a lot quicker this time. Alright, build success. So now we can run runelite.main. As you can see, it said 131, so last time it was 130. And same again. I'm going to log in. And as you can see, if I type in HTTP, there is the plugin. And so if there's ever a server issue, what you can do is exit out and press stop. And all you need to do is press the blue arrow in the top right hand corner, which is to update the project. What this will do is upload any new files, and when that's done, what we can do is next is just install again. So Runelite lifecycle, right click on install and run the Maven build. But since there was no updates, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to run Runlite and see what happens. So I'm just going to log in, and so far so good. So as you can see, 131. So that means the plugin got installed, and I'm just going to try and log in now. So it seems like the server is updated and is working now. So no files were needed to be updated. It was just like a server offline. So as you can see, it's now working, and what we can do is test out the plugin. So in settings, I typed in HTTP, there's the plugin for the HTTP server, and also when I go and click on and type in localhost, which is the plugin that displays all the values, there it is. So there's all the values. We've got animation, run energy. So for example, the pitch, which is the camera angle, I'm just going to change it down to all the way down, and that number should be around 120. It's 128. So that number changed. And also the X and Y changes as well for the world position. So when I'm wood cutting, the animation number is going to change to 879. And when it is idle, it's going to change back to -1. And, you know, that's about it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. If you like more of these Java tutorials on how to make a Java plugin, subscribe and I'll let you know. See ya.